Hello everybody, it's Julia here from the Highly Sensitive Tarot. I hope everybody's well. I hope everybody's happy and doing good. I think you've just all had Thanksgiving in America, so I hope that you all had a lovely time. I just want to do my wrap-up video for the end of November and show you the decks that I've been using, what I plan to do in December, talk a little bit about my life, show you some of the things that make me happy and keep me going through the colder months, through the times of the year where it's dark and not a lot of fun. So I'm going to try and put, well, not a lot of fun for me anyway, because I like the spring and the summer, really, if I'm honest. I like the earth waking up. I like to get out in the garden, and I like the sunshine. So I'm going to show you a few of the things that make me happy through these darker months, and my tarot room, my garden, just a few bits and pieces. So I hope that I can get all of these little videos together. I'll endeavour to put some timestamps in, and so yeah, I hope that you'll watch and leave me a comment and say hello. I love to hear from everybody. So I'll see you all soon. So my garden at the very end of November. George sunning himself. Look at the sky today. The sun, wow. Not really much left in the garden. I just need to clean up some leaves. Though the winter jasmine is looking gorgeous. I'm dazzled by the sun. That's looking really nice, isn't it? My little fairy garden. It's coming along. Look at the greenhouse, look, all frosted up this morning. Really need to clean some leaves up, otherwise things will rot, won't they? So that is my garden, right at the very end of November. And George, my beautiful plants getting some winter sunshine. Always makes me happy looking after those. The light reflected from the crystal at my window on a sunny morning always makes me smile when I get up. Making tea in the morning is lovely in the cold winter. And this is my particular favourite at the moment. This is rosehip and hibiscus, which goes in my little pink cafetiere, and my little mushroom dark fern cup. And I have it with a couple of chunks of 85% organic dark chocolate, which is just delicious. I've been decorating my little tarot room, getting ready for Yule and Christmas. I'll probably show a little video later on of it all lit up at night time, because it's particularly lovely at night time. Another thing that I love to do in the winter that cheers me up when it's dark early is to light all my little twinkly lights and some of my candles and just have that really soft, pretty glow. Unfortunately, the ivy on the left hand side there, I put new batteries in, but it's not working. So can you see my paint samples stuck to the wall? I'm trying to decide what I'm going to use. And over this side, my little Christmas tree, my twinkly lights, more paint samples you can see on the wall there, look. I think that one there to the right of the painting is going to be the winner, the dusky clay. But we shall see. But yeah. And this is my bedroom. I have this little thing that makes stars and a moon on the ceiling and the northern lights. And this is how I spend my evenings. I don't have any big bright lights on, but I absolutely love these lights. They're beautiful, aren't they? They go all different colours and all different sequences. So pretty. Okay, so hello everybody. I hope you enjoyed having a little look at my garden and my home for the end of November. So I'm going to endeavour to put timestamps and all the information for this video in the description box so you can go to which bits that you want. I'm going to try and put sort of several little videos together actually, so we'll see how I get on. It might turn out very differently at the end to what I intended, but hopefully it will work. So I hope everybody's well. I hope everybody's doing good. I can't believe that it's the end of November already. It'll be Christmas, won't it, in 5 minutes? Time just flies. The weeks just fly by. So what I thought I'd do is I'm going to show you the decks that I worked with in November and a couple of oracle decks that I paired with them. I'm going to talk about what I plan to do in December and some YouTube channels, not tarot ones, but other things that I watch, and some other bits and pieces. So like I said, I'll put timestamps in. So I shall show you. I've got so many things on my table. I'm confused as to what I'm going to show you. So there we go. The decks that I worked with in November were the Slow Tarot, the Hush Tarot, and excuse me, the Bone, Stone and Earth Flesh Tarot. And I had a couple of oracle deck pairings with those as well, so I'll just get everything out. Okay, so these are the 3 decks. I did one of my week ahead readings with the Slow Tarot and really enjoyed that. I plan to do a reading with the Bone, Stone and Earth Flesh at some point, but I'm not sure that I'm going to be able to with the Hush Tarot. As you can see, I've started edging it but not finished, and it's beautiful. I absolutely love it, but I would have to read it so intuitively because the images on the cards don't line up with what I associate with the card at all. Well, in some cards a little bit, but not really. The majors may be slightly better, but a lot of the other cards, they're really quite tricky to read. I mean, for myself, obviously it would be fine because I could look up in the book if I wanted to, and I could really take my time. But I think if you're sitting reading in a video, you don't want to be looking in the book, do you? And you don't have all day to sit and reflect and think about it. Or, well, what I've been doing for myself with this deck is pulling a few cards and just going back to them throughout the day and even the next day. And they take that long, really. Whereas these two decks are much more immediate. So let's just see what I've been pairing. I thought that a good pair for the Bone Stone and Earth Flesh is the Crow Tarot, and I think the Crow Tarot pairs really well with a lot of different decks. I really like it. I've been pairing it with all sorts of decks actually since I got it. It's one of my favourite oracles, to be honest. When I pair decks, I'm never so interested actually immediately in the words lining up with the card. For me, it's all about the aesthetics when I choose a deck. I like that the colours are kind of complementary, or something about the image in the card is complementary to the tarot deck. And then I generally find that as I start to use it and read with it, that the words on the cards start to become much more meaningful, obviously. But it's not actually the first thing that I notice about a pairing and any pairing that I might choose. So these work really well, don't they? I've had some really good readings from these. The colours are complementary. The crows seem to go really well with this deck. I really like it. I also think it goes really well with the Slow Tarot, actually, considering they're quite different decks. You know, the Slow Tarot is not necessarily a very nature or animal type deck, but I think it actually works very well as well. The sort of colour palette, I do like it. I love the Slow Tarot. I think it's an absolutely amazing deck. I'm so pleased. It was so expensive with the shipping to have come over from America, but so worth it, to be honest. I really like it. What do you think? See, my other choice for this deck, which again may seem strange, but is the Fairies Oracle by Brian Froud. That's why I was trying to think of the name. Brian Froud. It's the autumnal colours, I suppose. I always associate this deck with autumn or winter. It's never a spring summer deck for me. I don't know, I just think it goes quite well. What do you think? We've got some sort of strange creatures in the Slow Tarot. And like I said, the colour palette just works really well, I think, doesn't it? I mean, this is definitely an oracle deck that I have to use the book for and look at, because otherwise I wouldn't get a great deal of information from it at all. I think it's quite nice, isn't it? A collective of pixies. Yeah. I just really quite like the feel of this all together. I think it's really nice. And like I said, the Crow Tarot goes really well with it as well. And then we have the Hush Tarot, which I don't know whether this is sort of Fae overkill or not, to use these two together, but I think they go really well together. So I have been using these for my daily card pulls. What do you think? I think they're beautiful together, aren't they? I mean, look at those two. Yeah. I don't think the Crow Tarot would go with the Crow Oracle, sorry, would go with these, but look at those, look, all these fierce women. Yeah. Like I said, I've been using it for maybe 2 or 3 weeks now, and I think it's a really good pairing, actually. So yeah, this is what I've been using in November, and I've really enjoyed all of them. I think the Hush Tarot is going to need a little bit more time on my part, but the Slow Tarot and the Bone, Stone and Earth Flesh are beautiful decks. I'm really happy with those. So what else have I been doing in November? Well, in November I backed a couple of Kickstarter decks, and the first one was very impulsive. I'd never backed a deck on Kickstarter before, and I thought I'd have a try, and I didn't read all the information properly, and I think if I did, well, I'm not sure whether I would have still backed this deck, because I do really like the concept of it, and it's called the Ordinary Magic Tarot, and it's by Native Authority Tarot. I think it's Spanish, or the woman is from Spain. It's about finding the joy in ordinary moments, and all of the cards are based on kind of stories from her own life or people that she knows, and she's been posting these stories so that you can kind of learn about the deck, and I think it's due to come in January. But when I went back and had another look at it, and as I read down, I realised that a lot of the art was AI art, and that's not something that I'm really very happy with at all. You know, I love real art by real people, hand drawn, hand painted, hand illustrated. I love art. I have art all around my home, and I'm really not keen on the whole AI thing. I don't really use it in any way in my life. I don't like chat GBT or whatever it's called. I think I'm just too old-fashioned, really. But I'd backed it once I'd realised that. And like I said, I do really like the concept of it, so I'm intrigued about this deck, and in some ways I'm looking forward to it, but in some ways I'm kind of annoyed that I backed it. And because I did, and I realised that I'd done that, I went straight back on and looked for another deck that I knew for sure was not anything to do with AI and had been completely hand illustrated. And so I also backed, which is so naughty. But these are my Christmas presents to myself, these two decks. I also backed the Shadows We Cast, which is a Starseekers tarot by Nikki Farada. And this is, I think it's supposed to be like a gentle guide to guide you through a dark night, maybe shadow work, a dark night of the soul. I don't have the Starseekers tarot, but I really quite fancied the Shadows We Cast, so I've also backed that, and I think that's due to come end of January, February time, so I'm really looking forward to that one. So I finally, well, I'm almost finished on The Father of Lies, which is by S.E. England. which I started last month. It's book 1. I'm very slow at reading because my attention span is just shocking. But it's a supernatural horror novel about an asylum in northern England, about a particular patient who just doesn't get better, really, and she's very violent and very destructive. She's called Ruby. And it's all about the story of how did she manage to survive, who is she, and what happens to the people in this asylum when they start to hypnotize and try to get to the bottom of what's going on with Ruby. So, and it is very sinister. If you like supernatural horrors, you will love this, and I'm looking forward to getting book 2 and 3. I think that there is. It is. I've found myself being a bit creeped out at night, to be honest, reading this, so it's a good book. I'm trying to think what else. So I've been trying to decide on the colour to decorate my tarot room. I'd thought about green, and I've painted 2 different colours of green bits all over my room, and then decided I didn't like it and it didn't work. I think this room needs more warmth to it, so I've just had today come some colour swatches, is that what they're called? Stick-on ones, 3 colours, I think a terracotta, a dusky clay, and one called blush, which is a more sort of pinky coloured one. So I'm trying to decide on those, and I think at the moment dusky clay is winning out, and I plan on having somebody come and decorate my tarot room after Christmas, and also my bedroom, which I think I'm going to do in quite a sort of pale purpley colour, like a heather sort of colour, because I think that will fit with all my bits in my bedroom. So I've been doing that. It's a bit annoying because in my tarot room now I've just got colours stuck all over the wall, which I'm going to have to be annoyed with really until the new year. I do like the terracotta one as well, but I'm a bit worried that might be a bit too dark. But yeah, I haven't watched any real TV. As such, I don't very often. I watch a lot of YouTube channels, and I will list these in the description box if they're anything that you're interested in. I watched David Paulides, who is Can-Am Missing Project, and he does all the Missing 411 videos, and he writes books about people that go missing in national parks and all around the world, actually. Katie Romes is a girl who goes out wild camping in the UK, and I love her. She's brilliant. Coast to Coast, I watch a lot of that. Library of the Untold, which is brilliant. He does a lot of esoteric documentaries of all different kinds. Ghost Theory, which is 2 men from the UK that go out urban exploring and going to old and haunted abandoned buildings. Hell on Earth, which is a group of 3 lads that go out and they just do all sorts of silly things, really. They'll like build a tent on top of a car and go out travelling with it, and try and do up a really old camper van and go out travelling with it, and they'll go and stay on ships that are half submerged in the sea and shipwrecks, and they're just really, really funny and interesting. I like them a lot. And just this, in the last month, actually, to my great delight, David Icke is back on YouTube. He's been allowed back. I have several of his books, and I've been a long time fan of his. I think you'll find that many of the things he was talking about, 10, 20 years ago have come to pass. I went and saw him at Wembley, actually, when he talked there, and I think he's a fascinating man, so I've been watching a lot of him. So yeah, that's what I've been getting up to in November. So the decks for December that I plan to work with, let me get them. So I have the Seasons of the Witch Winter Tarot, the Jules and Frost Rider-Waite-Smith, my Tarot of the Abyss, and pairings with the Soul Trees Ascension deck and the Soul Trees Oracle cards. So I'll just get them out and I'll show you. Okay, so this is the Seasons of the Witch, the Winter Edition Tarot, which I'm really looking forward to working with actually. I hope to do one of my week ahead readings with this deck. It's beautiful. And I hope that it will pair really well with these Soul Trees oracles, which seem to pair with most things, to be honest. Yeah, obviously they're not pairing that well at the moment, are they, aesthetically? They did the other day when I looked at them. I thought they were a really good combination. Maybe it was the other deck, I don't know. There's so many different colours and variations of trees in this. And like I said, I like for things to aesthetically match up. I mean, that's a nice pairing, isn't it? Yeah, that's nice. I knew as I'd gone through them, I'd seen lots of cards that I really liked. So, yeah, this is a beautiful deck, this Seasons of the Witch Tarot. It's edged in this lovely blue. Yeah, so I'm really looking forward to that. So this is Nova at Nova Monday Tarot. This is her, one of her Rider-Waite-Smith decks that she created. Doesn't that work beautifully? And really, the colours in a lot of this are kind of cooler and wintry for me. So that's beautiful, isn't it? These are double-sided cards, so you can use whichever side you want, or whichever side kind of appears, really. See, for this, I would probably turn them over and use these ones. Hello, George. George is not very happy. One of my neighbours has got a new kitten that's just been allowed out, so there's been a lot of silly noises at night time and fighting, and oh, that's really nice, isn't it? Look at that, look. I think these are going to work really well. I'm really pleased with these. I'm only showing you one of the Soul Trees Oracle cards. They're very similar, just the colour palette is very different with them. Yeah. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. That's beautiful, isn't it? And then also again with the Tower of the Abyss, I just think these Soul Tree decks are so versatile. I think they go with most decks really, and they're just very nice. You get if you've never seen them before, you just get this little book that has enough information really in it about each of the cards. They're very intuitive little cards, like this one here, Grounded. Let's see what it says. It just says connected and present, feeling safe, connected to the body, your body and earth. When do I feel grounded, and am I feeling grounded now? And that actually works really well with the Five of Pentacles and the Nine of Swords, doesn't it? That's not grounded energy. So, yeah, I think they work really, really well. Yeah. So that is my decks that I plan to use for December. I'm sure in January I'll have some new decks to work with, hopefully some Christmas presents. Although actually we've agreed this year not really to do much on the presents front. I've got a lot of money to spend on decorating and various things, and my son is saving up to buy an apartment with his girlfriend, and life is expensive, isn't it, really? And we've all got more than enough things, haven't we? So so yeah, I don't think we'll be doing a great deal on the presents front, but I'm sure I'll have some new decks for January to work with. So yeah, do say hello, everybody. And like I said, I hope you had enjoyed having a look at everything to do with my life in November. And I shall look forward to having a look at your wrap-up videos for November as well. So sending my love to everybody, and I'll see you all soon.